Hello and welcome to Empaths Anonymous podcast, episode 5.
Episode 5, everybody.
Episodio cinco.
Episodio 5. Buenas noches.
Thanks for coming back again. And if it's your first episode with us, thanks for joining.
Welcome. Glad to have ya.
What is in your cup today, Danny?
What's in my cup? A shout out to the Plastics of America, because these shits right here, we're not gonna show the logo.
Is that a new one?
No,
that's the one that we've had.
We've had this. It's color changing, but when you put the coldness, it's very sweaty. It must be hot in here. Yes, in my cup is a Nixie sparkling water.
Okay,
keep it simple today.
Refreshing.
I already had a lot of caffeine, as I do every single day that we record. So it's that I was looking for a little special mix in to just add just a little zhuzh of sweetness. But we don't have anything. The only thing I have would be agave, and I just didn't. That was just not what I was looking for.
I liked the pineapple juice. Maybe we need to buy pineapple juice regularly, because it's a good mix in for a lot of things.
It is. Drink your pineapple juice, ladies and gentlemen.
And gentle people.
And gentle people. Absolutely. In my figurative cup the last week, a lot. Definitely a lot. But good. Celebrated Mother's Day, which was fantastic. Got to see lots of family that I hadn't seen in a while, and that was wonderful. We are over prepared. So by the time that you're listening to this is actually our launch week. So it has been so many uncertainties, but everything really came together today, which is the day before we officially launch everywhere. But just the way that everything unfolded in the most timeliest of manners, it really helped all the things that happened today. And then I'm finally back in therapy after rescheduling. It was already every 2 weeks. And so then when you reschedule,
it pushes you back.
It just pushes you back even more.
Oh, wow.
So a lot to talk about today. And we did, and talked a lot more about boundaries, talked a lot more about sitting with your emotions. Everything goes in phases and steps.
Yeah.
Acknowledging your emotions without judging them. And after you acknowledge your emotions, figure out what they're trying to teach you. And that's where I am now. She's like, and you're going to start feeling guilty if you aren't already feeling guilty. I'm like, have you read my diary? Like, of course I feel guilty.
Girl.
It's like I live with that shit every day.
Are you in my brain?
Yeah. She's wonderful. And I'm appreciating our sessions more and more as I get to know her. So
I love that.
That's good. And that is my cup. What's in your cup, sister?
I have an Olipop. It is the Barbie Olipop. Go off. It's peaches and cream. Really good. If you're not a peach girl, you will hate this. It literally tastes like the liquid soda version of a peaches and cream candy.
Yes.
It's pretty.
It's very
not
sweet.
Overpoweringly sweet where it's like, oh, I don't want to drink this. It's refreshing and good, but it's very peachy.
I would say it's probably the sweetest Olipop they have. I
would agree.
Yeah. The other
this
ones
one
are
and the
sweet.
cherry cola is kind of sweet too.
Yeah.
That one's my personal fave. But is it proverbial? Is that like the right term?
I like proverbial
cup.
My proverbial cup.
I feel like I heard that somewhere.
We need to get thesaurus out of this bitch.
What do we do? I'm gonna try and keep this brief because I feel like I lived 3 lifetimes in the past week. You know, when you you're like, oh yeah, I can handle that. I can handle that. I can do that. I can do that. And then all of a sudden you've agreed to all these things and you're like, shit.
Past me wasn't looking out for future me.
So not only were we getting ready last week to launch this week, then I went to a festival on Friday.
Yes.
And in this festival, in this time, I learned that I am not a festival girl unless I'm going to be like VIP. I'm too aware. I hear everyone around me. I feel everyone's energy. I just don't. And then I'm short. Yeah. You guys can't tell, but I'm 5 feet on a good day.
She literally makes me look tall, and I'm like less than average height.
I'm 5 foot tall. When my hair is down, it might add a good like 1.5 inches. My hair volume.
Oh, that's true.
Which leads me to, I was saving this for the pod because it kind of goes along with like just being aware and caring about others. So went to this festival. I only went to one day because that's all that I can handle. I really wanted to see Dominic Fike, but I was going to my brother's in Vegas to help him move into his house, and I am not going for 3 days in a row. And the day that Dominic Fike was playing, he was literally the only person I cared about. So I'm like, I'm not going to spend money
waiting around for just one
to
person
go and see just him.
Right.
If I had VIP, I would. But Kate Tronado was the headliner. Mm-hmm. Gave us drinks to drink. Be drunk. T-Pain. T-Pain was there. I've never seen T-Pain live before, even in all of my Vegas days. Have never seen him out at a club, nowhere. So that was really cool as a millennial to like experience the myth, the man, and the legend that is T-Pain. It was really, he's really good live, actually.
I have this strange new love and appreciation for T-Pain after watching all of his like TikTok. I don't really tune into his TikTok lives, but he'll repost some of like the funny clips. So beyond talented, and I think underrated. So I think now it's almost as if it's a new generation of people appreciating him and bringing him back to life.
What's his name in real life? Thaddeus?
Is it?
You said it the other day.
Did I?
It starts with a T. It's like Theodore or Thaddeus or something like that.
Oh, I wish I could Google it right now.
I know. We can't because we're using our phones now to record social content. Look at us growing.
Look at us.
Growing and evolving.
Figuring shit out.
Lots of good people like JID played, Joey Badass, MK. We went to this little like stage. I think that they were trying to make it like a mini Coachella. So in Coachella, I've never been, but in Coachella, there's this thing called the Do Lab, and it's like the EDM tent, and it's where everybody goes to do drugs.
Okay.
But my friend that I went with was like, it's honestly the best place in Coachella because everyone there is just so nice, and you just have such a great time.
Well,
we went there, and I was like, wow, this is so fun. So that was one of the first places we went. After T-Pain, we went there. And so I was expecting the rest of the festival to just be good vibes. We go to the main stage because like we're getting ready to see Kate Renata, and we're like, well, let's get a good spot. So we were there. At first it was chill, and then like as later as it gets more crowded. And it's like a very hilly, uneven ground. So Kate Renata comes on, and there's just everyone's pushing. Obviously, I'm not like, I'm a seasoned concert and like festival person. Like, I'm not saying this as like, oh my God, people are pushing me. But no, this was like, isn't even that serious of a festival. So it's like, this isn't even that big of a deal.
Right.
Also, you can see Kate Renata all the time, everywhere. It's not like he's a hard person to see live.
Right.
And there was this group behind us, and it was like 12, not joking, 12 kids, probably like in their early 20s. And the entire time I'm hearing them talking about how they want to be in front of us. Mind you, they're all way taller than us. And me and my friend's even shorter than me. They were just talking shit the whole time. And this kid, Elliot, literally put his hands on me.
Full name.
Put his hands on each of my shoulders and was like trying to move me to the side instead of just looking at me and saying, excuse me, I'm trying to get to my group of friends over there. Can you please move? Can you please let me by? And so then I was already like losing my patience.
Right.
And trying to hold it together and just have a nice time because I had been the whole day. Because that really bothers me as a short person and just as a woman in general. And even a woman of color, like, don't touch me. Yeah. Do not touch my hair. Do not touch my body unless I tell you that you can. And especially, like, there's no room for you. Like, I'm shoulder to shoulder with each person on each side of me. There's no room. The person in front of me is like,
right.
I could breathe on them.
Right.
I'm like, where do you think you were going to go, Elliot? In your fucking Patagonia jacket when it's 75 degrees out in fucking San Diego? Like, okay.
Yeah, I get it. It's like he had many points to prove that evening. Many points.
So he put his
hands on anybody, but as a white man.
Yeah.
To a clearly non-white person.
Right.
Do you understand the implications, sir?
He did not
understand.
Because I told that man off in the middle of the crowd. I'm like, I don't care if Kate Renata's up there preaching peace and love.
He's not getting it.
Right. And I said, you don't need to put your hands on me. And I said exactly what I said. If you need to get by me, say, excuse me, like I'm a human being.
Right.
So then the rest of the night, he was all pissed off because I basically told him off in front of everybody.
Right. Well, you berated him in front of the crowd as he deserved.
Right. And then I was the angry black girl. I'm like, cool, whatever. I don't care.
It's well within your right to be angry. Anyone would be well within their right to be angry if someone put their hands on you without your consent and physically tried to move you out of the way. Wasn't a gentle,
No.
excuse me, or
No.
like
touching me to get my attention.
Yeah.
That's different. If you're
Yes.
patting me on the back or on the shoulder to get my
Right.
attention, cool. No, he put both hands on me and went like this to move me to the side.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, I'm a human being. I'm not an animal.
Immediately no.
You can't just pick me up and
I was
move
invited.
me.
It's a good thing I didn't go. That would not have been a good moment for
Danny
me.
would have fought that man.
The
Guys,
rage would take over.
Yeah, he was over 6 feet tall.
Don't care.
And I'm like, I'm 5 foot, so you're going to stand directly in front of me. That's another thing. If you are short, you get it. If you're a tall person, I get that everybody has the same right to be there and to be in the front if you want to be in the front. But if you're 6'5" and there's somebody who's 4'10" in front of you,
over so many more
you
people.
can see over me. Why do you need to be in front of me?
Because now you're taking that moment away from me. I can't see in front of you. You know what I learned? And I have been learning? Common sense ain't common, girl.
It's not.
It's uncommon sense.
Yeah. But anyway, not to complain. I did have a really great time. I was glad that I got to go, but it was really the confirmation that I needed to know that, Christina, you're 2. And age has nothing to do with it. I just can't take crowds like that anymore. I think I'm too energetically sensitive to handle crowds like that, especially being sober.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you don't numb yourself to everything going on around you, then you will absolutely experience it.
Yeah.
And take it with you.
Exactly. So, Coachella, I will not be coming for you 2025. I don't care who your headliners are.
Can someone bring me in on a helicopter? And
for real.
I can take the helicopter back home and
Absolutely. Who do I need to become friends with?
Right. But then even then, I'm like, that's already doing too much for something I really don't care about.
Honestly.
That much. Yeah. Am I going to burn more fossil fuels to go to a fracking festival? I'm fucking fuming, mate. The answer is no, I'm not.
Did I say this to you, or was this like in my head? The only way that you're going to get me to show up to fucking Coachella is if you have a headliner that's so niche that I'm like, I have to go because it's this. You either have to have Zayn be the headliner. It
would be Zayn. That's it. That's
the headliner. Why am I talking like this? I'm around my like Midwestern family for a day, and I all of a sudden pick up my Wisconsin accent again.
The headliner.
Yeah, I shouldn't say never. The Jonas Brothers. I don't think they will ever be asked to be headliners at Coachella. But if they do, it would be such a like pig in the sky moment that I'd be like, I'm there. That's it. Zayn
just
or the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you lost
Zayn,
me.
like probably for the rest of my life. I think that I would truly regret not going if it were the Jonas Brothers, to be honest with you. It's like, well, that's kind of a moment.
It is. If they get so in that lane, because I feel like they are doing really well right now, especially because like we're growing up, and now people who were fans of them 10, 15, aren't they like on their 20th anniversary or something? 20th, I think 20th. It is.
Next year, and they're planning something for it already. Who knows?
So we all have money now, so we have like money to go see them in concert, but I don't think that they're still at the level yet where they're going to get asked to Coachella. They would have probably done that already.
As a headliner, I don't think so.
I don't think that they're just not the same brand. Like it's not a brand match, because people who are going to go to the Jonas Brothers are like us. We want to be home and in bed by 12 p.m., you know?
Yeah. I think the fan base is a little bit too, how do you say, specific.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can say it. Yeah. For me, it would have to be Zayn. Because I just know that like that man doesn't like to perform in general.
I don't even know if Zayn would agree. I don't think that's his vibe.
No, I think it's too many people. It's too much pressure.
And the theatrics of it all, like the staging and like making it a show. Like I feel like Zayn's the type of vibe, like if he goes on tour, he's showing up on a stage and he's singing his heart out and then he's leaving. Like he's not that I'm saying he's not artistic and can't create a great show, but like I don't think he's
he just gives intimate jazz club.
Yeah.
He just gives lounge.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah. So sorry to get off on a long tangent. So just to do something a little different and like a little get to know us situation, we're going to play a little game. So we're going to play, what is this called?
It's called We're Not Really Strangers.
And we're not. So this is going to be great.
And we're not. It is broken down into 3 levels. Level 1 being perception.
Okay.
More surface level questions. Level 2, connection. Level 3, reflection.
Love the thought behind all this.
So I think we'll pull a few from each level, but seeing as level 1 is so probably things that we already know about each other most. But I would really like to get to the deeper
Get to the
levels.
meat.
Let's get deep. I'll read the how to play. Do you really know your best friend? How well do you know your mother or sister or anyone else close to you? How well do you know your mother? We're Not Really Strangers is a purpose-driven card game. 3 carefully crafted levels that allow you to deepen your existing relationships and create new ones. Ready? Final card set aside.
Is that how the game is always played?
Yes, it's the first rule.
Oh, well, we know how I feel about rules.
Oh my God. First of all, we're puzzlers.
We are.
We love a puzzle. Shout out to the Magic Puzzle Company. If y'all want to send us your next series, please do. The Magic Puzzle Company, I still have not seen anything viral on TikTok, but allegedly they are the TikTok viral puzzle.
I guess I'm not on Puzzle Talk.
We need to be on Puzzle Talk.
We do.
They have puzzle competitions, things like that. Anyway, the Magic Puzzle Company has a really cool way of doing puzzles, and I can't tell you what the cool thing is because it'll ruin it. But there is a rule in those puzzles that Christina was struggling with so much that we, at some point, I thought I was going to have to physically hold her back from doing the thing she wasn't allowed to do.
Because I just don't, especially things like that don't really matter. I don't like see the value in playing by the rules.
But at the end, were you glad that you did?
I guess, but like, I think it would have still had the same effect had I even looked.
Okay. Set aside the final card. Done. Sit facing one another with level 1 cards face down. Now, stare deeply into each other's eyes. Seriously. Stare into each other's eyes.
I'm not about rules. I'm like, I don't got time for this. Let's just play.
You don't want to stare into my eyes?
I'll always stare into your eyes.
Right. I like playing it with different people because you get different results. Some people are more willing to share than others.
Well, I am an oversharer, so let's go. All right, ready?
Yes.
What about me is most strange or unfamiliar to you?
Closing your door.
I knew you were going to say that.
No, just because it's so fresh. I suppose getting used to your daily routine. You know, when you're friends with someone, having never lived with someone, you kind of know what they like to do.
Yeah.
But you're not so involved with what that person does.
Right.
From morning till nighttime.
That's true.
So I would say that's like probably the most unfamiliar thing that I've had to learn.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call that.
I like to be outside.
Definitely your love for outside was something that I learned.
I just meant like out and about in general. I like to call it fuck about.
I think you said that one time. I think I was like family here, and you were like, "I'm just gonna go on a fuck about." I'm like, "Preach, sister."
That's one of the things that like when I started spending time with myself,
yeah,
I found was like one of the most fun things. It's like maybe I'll pick a place to start. Like I'm gonna go thrifting in the morning, and then from there I don't have anything planned. I'm just going wherever the day takes me. If I want a coffee, I'm gonna go here. If I want to go to the beach, I'm gonna go here. Like that's why I called it fucking about, because I don't have a plan. I'm just going with whatever I feel like doing in the moment.
And sometimes those are the most fun days.
They are.
I love spontaneity.
Confused.
What do you think I'm most likely to splurge on?
Oh, damn.
That's a tough
Honestly,
one.
life. Living. Doing things.
Yeah.
Food specifically.
Oh, yes.
If Danny had a disposable income, she would eat out all of the time. And like not even just like I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A. She would be like,
no,
let's go to $200 dinner at Malibu Farms or like wherever we want to go. Gourmet Italia, which is our regular spot.
Oh my God. And for that to be a regular spot should say a lot about us. Because those plates average at around, I think even for a salad is like $22.
Yeah, I was going to say mid-20s to 30s.
Yes. And then it's not just that. Like we're obviously getting their signature espresso martini. We might share a bottle of, we might share a bottle of Malbec. It just depends on how we're feeling. But everything is so homegrown.
Yeah.
That when I'm spending money like that makes it worth it to me, because I know that I'm still, if I go to Applebee's or Chili's, guess what? I'm still spending close to $100, if not more.
Yeah.
It's like they're charging me the same price for microwavable chicken tenders.
Yeah, unless you go for the 2 for $20.
but I'm not. I'm going to Gourmet Italia for my stuffed shells.
Hell yeah.
That's a really good one. If I had that much money, I
Yeah.
would be spending on quality food. I am a foodie.
Yeah.
100%.
And experiences in general. Like you're willing to spend on experiences.
Oh, for sure.
Which I feel like we're kind of the same in that way, which is why it's dangerous.
Yes. When we go somewhere, it's like there is no budget. When we were on our staycation, no budget. $30 for 2 margaritas? Ring me up.
What compliment do you think I hear the most?
I love your hair.
Yeah.
I love your hair. Hopefully the follow-up question is that, can I touch it?
No, somebody actually asked me this recently on a dating app. When's the last time or how often does that happen? And I'm like, honestly, since 2020, I don't think anyone's ever even asked.
Yeah.
Because when everything was happening,
right,
I posted on my story like my experience because everyone's talking about their experiences. Right. And so I posted a long story about hair and how it relates to Blackness and how my hair journey has evolved as I've gotten older. Right. Because when I was younger, I chemically straightened my hair all the time. So honestly, ever since then, everyone's like, don't ask that bitch to touch her hair because she's going to put you on an Instagram story. People do compliment me on my hair. That was the one thing at the festival. All the girlies were like, your hair is like so gorgeous. I'm like, I know.
If MySpace were still a thing, what would my profile song be?
Ooh,
deep cut. Shout out to Tom.
Honestly, Tom from MySpace. What is he doing? Just being rich?
Maybe.
I feel like the obvious answer would probably be, I was going to say Como Yo because that came to mind first. But I honestly think that it would probably be something having to do with like being a mother, having a child, like Daughter by Beyonce.
Something like that. For the longest time, my actual MySpace profile song was 4 in the Morning by Gwen Stefani.
You told me this. I don't know that song. That's like a deep cut.
It really is. I think it came from what? I don't even know. I think that's the album name as well.
Oh.
It was like in her Harajuku Girls moment, the problematic
Love, Sex, Money, Baby, or whatever that was.
Oh, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's that album. And 4 in the Morning is just a bop. Listen, we'll put on the playlist. Okay, one more from level 1.
Do I seem like someone who would get a name tattooed on myself? Why or why not?
Absolutely not.
Correct, bitch. I'm not getting any motherfucker's name tattooed on my body.
Absolutely not. It doesn't even matter who it is. I mean, the only person I could ever think of would be Crystal.
Oh, I was actually thinking that. My second thing would be if I ever have a child.
Yes.
I would tattoo my child's name on me.
Yeah.
But
if
not...
it is a rando, if it's a person that like that you did not birth out of your vagina or the person that birthed you out of theirs, nope.
Absolutely not.
Trust me.
That actually would be a really cute tattoo. Just experience.
Firsthand. Don't get a tattoo to save your relationship. It won't work. Sorry, you were saying what would be a really cute tattoo?
My mom loves flowers and her favorite color is purple. So I always thought it'd be cute to do like, she loves lilacs. Maybe do like a bunch of lilacs and like her name maybe like in the bow so that like is tying the lilacs together or something like that.
That would be so cute.
Something.
I love purple and flowers too.
You guys are purple girlies.
We love purple.
My mom kind of for a while, shout out Crystal, made purple her entire personality.
That I think became really popular at some point in like the early O's, where it's like your favorite color did become your personality.
Her favorite candy are grape heads, not the lemon heads, the grape heads.
Wow, that's very specific.
Very specific. We had growing up, her kitchen. She is an Aquarius. Growing up, her kitchen was grape themed. So all of our plates had grapes on them. The hutch had grapes on them.
It was a Tuscan vineyard.
It was a Tuscan vineyard.
Absolutely. That sounds gorgeous.
Yeah. So shout out Crystal. She loves purple and she loves grapes.
So cute. We could probably talk about our moms forever. Level 2. We're getting super deep. Think of something you strongly dislike that most people love. On the count of 3, say it out loud. The both of us. Okay, I think I have 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Patagonia jackets. Wait, what did you say?
Teslas.
Oh.
They've been irking me. I really didn't used to mind them that much. As a matter of fact, I think at one point I considered getting one before I realized they were made of trash and will literally kill you if you get into a car accident. So probably not.
Awesome.
And then there's just more like cyber trucks that I've been seeing.
The Cybertrucks are a no
Yeah.
from me.
And a lot of people love Teslas, and I just don't. So
This is a good one, and it goes with the pod theme. What lesson took you the longest to unlearn?
does it count? Does my answer count if I'm still trying to unlearn it?
I mean, if you're aware of it, yeah, it counts.
Yeah, process. You ever feel like it's so many lessons built into a big one? Like tiny lessons built into a big one? It's hard to pinpoint, but I think I would say the lesson I am unlearning, it's not selfish to love yourself.
Absolutely.
Because then you will continue to do all of the things that will bring toxicity into your life in the form of events, people, environment, etc., etc. The list goes on.
If you don't love yourself?
If you don't love yourself, because then you are setting yourself up to be loved at the level you love yourself at. And if that's not very much, then
that's true.
That's all you're going to ever be greeted with.
Yeah, in the future.
Exactly.
Until you learn the lesson.
What is your mother's name and the most beautiful thing about her?
Wow, this is the theme.
It is. Do we have a theme going?
My mother's name is Crystal, as I've already mentioned several times. The most beautiful thing about my mom is that she's so authentically herself, and has always been since I was young. That's probably where I learned it from. There's no option for her to be anybody but Crystal. Mm-hmm. She doesn't fake it for anybody. When she's done, she's done. When she loves you, she loves you. She'll get the shirt off your back. She's always authentic 100% of the time. She's always kept it real. She'll tell you straight up. Mm-hmm. If she's quiet, it's for a reason. I think that's the most beautiful thing, is that she's just 100% Crystal.
Yeah.
At all times, no matter what.
So cute.
I think the only time I've ever experienced her not is when she is in a circle where she doesn't feel safe to be herself, which is a lot. I mean, that's a lot of us.
Yeah.
But I think that I've only experienced that, seeing my mom that way once.
Yeah.
In my whole life.
And then is that version of her just like more reserved?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit more timid, which is really weird because she's not like a timid person.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a theme happening.
I know. It's the mothers. What is happening right now? Okay. Are you lying to yourself about anything right now?
Stop. Well, of course I am.
Just everything.
Just literally absolutely everything. Reference to episode 1. Did we not have a reference to episode 1 last week as well?
I think so.
Wow, am I lying to myself about anything right now? I try really, really hard to not.
Yeah.
I try to be brutally honest with myself because I am a glass half full realist. I really am. I think sometimes I could be, I toe the line between like insane or intense positivity, like look at the bright side of everything, and like being realistic to the point of like pessimism almost.
Right.
So I don't think that I intentionally lie to myself about anything. I think that my subconscious can try to make me feel that way. Like, especially toward the pod, but that has a lot to do with imposter syndrome. It comes in the form of you're lying to yourself that this will be successful. But I don't think that I'm lying to myself. I think that it's my deep, dark fear of failure. That's all.
Just that, you know.
That's it.
Just a little tiny thing.
What question are you trying to answer most in your life right now?
Oh. I think the question I'm asking myself a lot and trying to answer is, am I unreasonably needy, or do I just need to not compromise? That's not the word that I'm looking for. Like, yes, it is compromise, but like be a little bit more adaptable. Am I just like so stuck in like, I need things to be this way?
Okay, so not needy in the sense that you need things from people.
No.
But the
more of like needing my space.
And the need for like structure and stability the way you've always had it. That's
a
tough one.
It's like, am I protecting myself and my peace and my needs by having such strong guardrails, or do I just need to learn to be a little more adaptable? That's the question I'm asking myself the most lately.
That's a good question. Tough answers.
I used to let people walk all over me a little bit, that now I'm just so like, nope. How do I kind of get more towards the middle, or how do
Right.
I maybe respond in a softer way so I don't come off as abrupt?
And I think it's all about gauging your environment and the people that you're around. I think
Right.
that answer is a full and final answer if
Yeah.
you can already tell that the person or the environment is not a safe
Yeah.
spot. These are some thinkers.
Ooh, describe your perfect day.
I'd have to say April 25th. No, I'm just kidding. My perfect day would be a no budget day with my daughter, somewhere that she would like thoroughly enjoy, and that anything she asked me if she could have, I could say yes, like a yes day.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
Yeah.
But if I were alone, I suppose a perfect day to me would be something very simple. Take myself out, drive, listen to music. I know people are like, drive, because a lot of people don't like to be on the road.
We live in California, so I get it, but
Yeah, let's just go for a nice little cruise. Somewhere where I could relax, end up at a Barnes and Noble or a library and just enjoy peace and quiet. Or if it was a really nice day outside, enjoy like a picnic. You know what we used to do? Eat in the back of the car, like the trunk.
Yeah.
Clear it out, throw some blankets down.
Yeah.
I used to make my family do that shit all the time.
Oh, that's
as
cute.
like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, we're about to do this.
Picnic in the car, bitches.
That, and then I used to do it in the backyard because we used to have a huge backyard growing up. And I would lay that blanket down. I said, wherever we're getting dinner, we're eating it outside. Let's go. I was setting the scene at a very young age.
You were. I used to do that in my RAV4 a lot when I lived in Texas, and I would go to the coast or the Gulf.
Yeah.
I try to avoid calling it a beach because it's not like it's not like a beach here.
Right.
I would do that in my car a lot. Because there you can drive right up to the water.
Ooh.
Because it's not like here where the waves are so crazy that like your car would get covered.
It's more of like a lap.
It's a lapping.
It's a lapping.
So you can drive like right up to the water. So I would back to the water, open my trunk, have pillows of blankets and stuff in the back, and like get like a poke bowl or some sushi and just like watch.
Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious. I'm actually starving. We're moving to level 3.
This might be a takeout kind of night.
Oh hell yeah! I'm tired of lasagna. What do I look like, Garfield? If you could prescribe me one thing to do for the rest of this month, what would it be and why?
Oh,
prescribe is such an interesting choice.
Prescribe is a very intense word. Prescribe.
What do you prescribe me, Dr. Christina?
I think having like a self-care hour.
Oh, like an everyday thing?
Yeah, every day, or maybe like once a week, twice a week, whatever's like doable. I feel like sometimes an hour every single day for self-care. I mean, it depends what you're looking at as self-care.
Right.
Because I think we all have a different definition. So I guess it would be your definition of self-care. You're not always able to do it for a full hour every single day. Sometimes self-care is just like taking your makeup off before bed and
you making sure you
putting
do
your skincare
all
on.
Your skincare.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's like a whole like hour of like just focusing on yourself.
I do believe I'm in the process of understanding what self-care is for me. I know like what certain things are for sure. Yeah. But I want to figure out new things. I think that's where I'm at with it. What new things do I like? Yeah. Or what things did I used to do that I really enjoyed?
Inner child work.
Just little things like that. Light work.
I feel like I kind of had this question already. Should I ask it and then we can decide if I should ask you a new one?
Go for it.
How would you describe me to a stranger?
I've done this.
I know.
Yeah.
She did this on a dating app for me once, actually, and then he didn't respond.
The disbelief.
Because I think his prompt was like, what would your best friend say about you or something like that?
Yeah, it was a wonderful prompt. I'm like, give me that.
I know. I was like, I'll do you one better. I'll let you talk to her directly.
Exactly.
She put this such a sweet, thought out answer, and he didn't respond. I'm like, why would you choose that as your prompt if you're not going to like...
Exactly.
Okay, this is a better one. What am I most qualified to give advice about?
Oh, I feel like so many things. I feel like the both of us talk about being in a place in our life where we know a little bit about a lot. Like I would love to be that person where like someone's having a conversation about something and I know just like a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Just like just enough to be impressive.
Yeah.
And then I can like learn more, right?
Mhm.
I feel like you're most qualified to the easy answer is to say your profession, but I feel like it would be more than that. Like I feel that you could give advice, especially to young people and young women specifically, to just go and do it.
Oh, okay.
Just do it. Not to
Whatever it
like Nike
is.
your ass, you know what I mean? But like whatever it is, get up and go if you want to go.
Yeah.
Right? Move here if you want to move here.
I've made 2 major moves in my adult life, and both times everyone's like, wow, applauding you. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Oh my God, I would never do that. I'm like, really? Like, you
Yeah.
wouldn't just like move to another city? Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like I'm moving to fucking Italy,
Right.
you know?
I think it depends. And a lot of people's personalities are not built for that.
That's
They
true.
have to feel settled
That's true.
no matter what. So
I think because I felt so much time in my 20s feeling frozen, one day I just like woke up and I was like, if there's something that I want to do, I just want to fucking do it. Because what's the worst that can happen?
right.
That's another thing Crystal taught me. She would tell me that all the time as a kid. If there's something that scares you or something that you are interested in, but you don't really know, or like you want to move or you want to try a new project or a new job, try it. Because the worst thing that could happen is you don't like it
Right.
and you just move back or you find a different job or you XYZ.
Right. Almost like making it okay to quit.
Yeah.
Quitting is fine. PSA.
Sometimes quitting is okay because it's
Quitting-
like at least you tried. What's
Yes.
worse? Always wondering and just never doing anything outside the box.
Exactly.
Or doing things outside the box and being like, ooh, don't like this. I'm just going to go back to where I do know I like it.
Right. That's so interesting because I was, I wouldn't say it was a completely opposite for my experience, but it wasn't the same. Quitting was definitely not ever encouraged. It was very discouraged. And like, stick with it, you know?
Yeah.
Even if you don't like it, kind of like force yourself to be there in a way. In some situations, that can work because it's necessary in some situations.
Right.
But not every and all.
Life's too short to be in spaces that you are uncomfortable or don't like or are not happy.
That was what question were you most afraid to answer? We're
That's
not
stupid.
afraid over here.
Do I look afraid to you?
See, this is one. I thought so. Give your partner a compliment you don't think that they hear enough.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought that question was going to be because maybe I remember it.
I don't take compliments well, so
good luck. Well, it's hard to. It's definitely hard to receive a compliment. I just think as women in general, we don't ever hear how intelligent we are.
And
Thank
you.
And like adept, you know, it's like we're just on top of our shit and with ease. We don't have to think about it.
I appreciate that because I feel like in my life I've always been treated like, or people look at me like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. You don't understand what I'm doing.
Right.
That's not my fault.
Yeah. It's not my fault you're a dum-dum.
Why do you think we met? Not like why did we meet or how did we meet, but why do you think we met?
Why do I think we met? I mean, all of these things that we've been seeing for us specifically and our signs is that we have our start later in life. And so I'm not supposed to find out my purpose until I'm like 45, which whatever. Why do I think we met? I mean, is the easiest answer that we're sitting right here. I suppose that would be the easiest why. But that would, I mean, to even say that, it's like that was 12 years and counting ago.
Right.
In completely different versions. I mean, who are they? What I'm wanting to say is almost like a sense of reliability.
Yeah.
This just sense of like, oh, I know I have this one person who's just going to get it and understand without me having to explain very much.
Right.
Explaining is so tiring.
It is. And there's some things that you've had to explain to me because obviously I don't have a child and I haven't gone through some experiences you've gone through. Sometimes we have to explain things to each other, but it's not like you don't have to explain how you're feeling or why you felt the way that you did. It's just like you're explaining the situation and not the context behind it.
Yes. I never have to explain why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling.
Right.
Just maybe what happened.
And I think even like when we started hanging out a lot, I think that for that purpose, it was we needed each other to kind of like bring each other out of our shell or like out of our comfort zones, do some things that are fun, experience life a little bit more.
Right.
or what we thought was life at the time.
Yeah, it was our version of life at the time.
Right. We kind of needed each other to be like, you down to do this? Yeah, I'm down to do that too. Let's do it.
Right. So that it didn't feel wrong.
Yeah.
I think that we were scared that we were doing something wrong.
Right.
When in reality, we were just 20-year-old kids experiencing things.
Yeah.
There's a fun one and then a deep one.
Okay.
I'll do the deep one. What do you recommend I let go of, if anything? I can take it.
I don't feel like I have anything that you don't already know. We both have the same thing. Perfectionism to the point where it's crippling.
Oh.
This is my fun question, and then this is my last question. So then you need one more.
Okay.
What do you think my defining characteristic is?
Defining characteristic, just one? I want to say ambition. I feel that it is a defining characteristic because I do feel that you bring that into so many aspects of your life. Because it's quite literally with everything. I set my mind to something and I'm going to get it done. And not only am I going to get it done, it's going to be done very efficiently and effectively.
It's the Taurus rising. I'm not stubborn, I'm determined.
Yeah, I could see how people could misconstrue it as stubborn, but it's more knowing what you want and knowing how you're going to get there, and you don't really falter. Because that when you falter and you faltered before, or you go down a different avenue that was not your original plan, and then the result is not what you thought it was, and you're like, see, I should have, you say this to me all the time, see, I know I should have fill in the blank, right? I know I should have trusted myself with this. I know I should have gone that way. I know I should have done this because I knew it was going to give me this result. Trusting your gut, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I like that. Thank you.
Okay. This is my final question now. How does one earn your vulnerability? Have I earned it, and how can I earn more?
I feel like this has been a very me-centered game. I don't know how I feel about that.
It just depends on the questions you get.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that somebody earns my vulnerability twofold. One, I know that they take me seriously, and I think because I'm somebody who people in my life have always not taken me seriously or think that I don't know what I'm doing. I think that I'm vulnerable with you when I know that you know I'm serious. Mm-hmm. So that's one. And two, that my being too muchness, too emotional, too dramatic, whatever, doesn't bother you. If I know that that's something that I can just be myself, and being too much of something isn't a problem for you, you have my vulnerability. Like even earlier, I cried in front of you, and it's like not that big of a deal to me.
Right.
I cry in front of a lot of people. I cry in public all the time. I can't go to Two Travelers because of it.
I guess, you partially answered this question, but the last part was, how can I earn more?
Oh.
Such an interesting way.
I don't think that's possible with you. I think that we've just like arrived there. Like there's really not anything, any part of myself that I hide from you.
Or like I feel scared.
Yeah.
I feel scared to like show. Yeah.
There's like nothing where I'm like, oh, if like Danny knew that about me, she would judge me or like whatever.
It's so interesting that was your experience. Maybe that's why we gravitated toward each other so much, because it was this, without even like conceptualizing it or realizing it, that maybe we did grow up in this environment where a lot of people did not take us serious. And so when I saw, even from a young age, how you were about your shit, I'm like, oh, that girl's serious. So that surprises me.
Even about unserious things. The amount of stress that I would get if we were like, coming home from a trip from LA and we were running late, or I had to drive really early in the morning. I'm like, I can't be late for my anthropology job. Like, girl, just call out.
And trust, there were moments where we were like, you're right. Because we were fucking around. We were definitely fucking around. But it came to a point where it's like, okay, it's got to be too much.
Yeah.
And we're ignoring responsibility. There is a fine line here.
We were about balance even back then.
We were always.
Because that's another thing that my family ingrained in me. Like, yes, have fun and do your big one. But at the end of the day, maybe that's like, it was kind of like a church culture thing. You can go out Saturday night and be out late with your friends, but you're still going to be in church the next day.
You're still going to get up with us and we're still going to go.
Yeah.
Get
so maybe that's where I got it from, is like, come rain or come shine, you're going to do what your responsibilities are.
Yeah. Especially being the oldest. There's like less wiggle room for that.
Yeah.
Way less.
Oh, yeah.
Being an example.
Oh, yeah. Kyle gets away with everything. Let me just say.
It's always the boys.
I know. That was a good question to end on because it kind of goes along a little bit with mine. And I'm changing one word in this because I feel like it's just less vague.
Okay.
What can I support you with and how can I do it better?
What?
The original question said help. I don't really necessarily like the word help. I feel like support is better. Because like help, it's like you can help me do the dishes. Like that's
we already help each other do so many things.
Right.
How can you support me?
Yeah, basically what's an area that I can support you more in?
I feel like we're getting to the point where we have an unspoken knowledge of what we both need. But you did it the other day where you were very frustrated with the process, frustrated with having to do the pot art and frustrated with all these things. But you reminded me that it wasn't directed at me. And those things are very helpful in the space that I'm exiting mentally and physically, because I will, no matter what, think it's me.
I'm mad at you. Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
I will always think, because I was conditioned and always told that it was my problem and I was part of the problem and always blamed for something, even though deep down I knew that I didn't really have that much to do with it.
Right.
It was still my fault.
Right.
So just a quick reminder, like, by the way, just venting, not something you did. And I know that if it was something that I did, that
I would have spoken to you in a different way.
Yeah, it would have triggered a different response and the conversation would have gone completely different. She was rage putting away her clothes. The hurdles that we've had to jump over that were seemingly such small things to get done, that's what irks us the most, I believe, is if it's a small task that just needs to get done and we're outsourcing the task and it takes way, way longer than it should have and it gets overcomplicated. Nope.
I think that I'm somebody who, like, I have to go with my flow. I know when I'm in it and I can handle something and I have the energy for it, and I know when I'm not. And that night was like a night I didn't have energy.
Yeah.
And I knew that, but I was like, no, these things just need to get done though. So I just need to like do it and it'll be fine. I went to bed feeling really bad. That's where you know how I told you, like, one of the topics I want to talk about is like my intrusive thoughts are ruining my life. Because I knew I was, first of all, I hate blaming things on my period.
When we talk about hormone cycles, we are 100% getting a guest. I can't wait.
And I think that maybe a lot of women, young girls, have that experience too. But
are you on your rag? That used to be such a... Are you on the rag?
I hate that.
Bitch, I will throw my rag in your face.
Literally. I knew that I had an emotional outburst, as always, because I'm hard on myself. Whenever that happens, I'm like, ugh, I didn't show up the way I wanted to. I'm such a bitch, blah, blah, blah. I'm such a bad friend. So I literally went to bed feeling bad about that, even though I apologized to you. I was like, damn it. I didn't mean to do that. I took something that wasn't that serious so seriously, and I let it get under my skin.
You were so tired.
I was very tired.
You were so tired. I mean, regardless of being on your cycle or not, I think just reminding me that it wasn't about me gave me the peace that I needed, like, just for it to be like off my mental, like, oh, it wasn't something that I'm pushing us to do. But it is sometimes this feeling of having to force yourself to be somewhere where you don't really want to be.
Right.
Or like doing something you don't really want to do that right now.
Like we talked about earlier.
Because people that you want to rely on are gonna fuck shit up. And that's just the name of the game. Adaptability is our friend.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm questioning myself on like, if I set a boundary for myself, or if I said I need a night to rest and then I end up working anyway, am I being unreasonable by letting that bother me? Or do I just need to be more adaptable in the moment and know that like this isn't forever? And reframing is like, I've started telling myself, I'm so lucky that I get to do this. Instead of thinking of like, oh, I have to do this. I'm so lucky that I get to do this.
Yes. It's been so hard, but it's been so fun. When you start something new like this and you're basically teaching yourself everything along the way, and we pulled it together. So it wasn't ever going to come together, as smooth as butter, but definitely adapting and just checking yourself where you're at along the way.
Alrighty, well, we hope that you enjoyed getting to know us a little bit more.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. I would play that game again.
I believe that wraps it up for this episode. We are at Empaths Anon Pod everywhere. And
except for YouTube.
YouTube,
we're Empaths Anonymous.
Full. Just check the podcast.
Maybe one day we will talk to Instagram support so we can get the handle Empaths Anonymous. Because that was the reason why.
That's right. We did have to shorten it.
Because somebody else already had it, but they're not using it.
Exactly.
But anyway, I digress.
Yes, I think that we shall close out with our serenity prayer.
Spirit, grant me the serenity to trust my gut fully,
the courage to become more vulnerable with myself and others around me, as well as my audience,
and the wisdom to not fight Elliot in a Patagonia jacket when he puts his hands on me. And so it is. Bye, feelers.
Bye. Okay. What do they do?